1.
And the final score from Dublin tonight, 42-3 for Fighting Irish Preview. I'm Phil Haug, and the Sam Hartman era has arrived here in Dublin, Ireland tonight in Aviva Stadium in a game that Sam Hartman post-game said it was like a great bowl game experience, the whole event, the whole 48 hours that the Irish were here. He compared it to the best bowl game experience he could imagine. Notre Dame scored touchdowns on their first 6 possessions tonight, running off to a 35-0 lead that they took into the fourth quarter. And Sam Hartman was really everything you would hope he would be. 19 for 23, 266 yards, 4 touchdowns, poise, escapability, and accuracy, leadership. Post-game, Brian Newberry, the head coach for Navy, said that compared Hartman to, he called him a coach on the field. And that was apparent to everybody today, the great leadership and skills that Sam Hartman showed today. Some other stats from the game: total yardage for Notre Dame tonight, 444 yards to just 169 for Navy. Some individual numbers: Audric Estime had a good night, 16 carries, 95 yards. Although all the backs got into the action tonight. Jadarian Price on his first ever collegiate carry went 19 yards to the end zone for a touchdown. And the other backs also saw action here. Jeremiah Love saw some action. Jabron Payne had some carries as well. Leading receiver for the Irish in catch-wise was Jaden Thomas. He had 4 catches for 63 yards and a score. But freshman sensation, and that's the first time we're going to use those words, for Jaden Greathouse, but you have to call him a sensation. In his first effort, in his first collegiate game ever, 3 catches, 68 yards, 2 touchdowns. A tremendous night for Greathouse. He, if you'll remember, had 11 catches in the blue gold game, and everybody was thinking maybe this is the guy. Well, he just might be the guy. Deion Colsey and Chris Tyree also contributed 3 catches each, so Sam Hartman spread the ball around. Marcus Freeman emphasized the efficiency of his game operation today, and he credited Sam Hartman for a large part of that, but he also credited his new offensive coordinator, Jared Parker. Talked about how well the operation worked. They didn't have to call timeouts because they were everybody on the same page. Very impressed by the way that all went. He also mentioned the fact that it helps that Sam Hartman was probably starting about his 48th collegiate football game here tonight. The Irish media asked Marcus Freeman about his experience here, and then asked him if he would like to come back, and his answer was very simple to that. Marcus Freeman said, "I would come back anytime." Sam Hartman credited his big day on his offensive line, and that was an offensive line that started 2 new offensive linemen in Rocco Spindler and Pat Coogan at the guard positions, along with the 3 veterans, Carell, Fisher, and Alt. They performed extremely well, and Marcus Freeman also complimented them as well. Asked about that 2 touchdown experience, Jaden Greathouse said, "I've dreamed of this since I was young," and I kind of had to chuckle because sitting up there in front of us in the room was Jaden Greathouse right next to Sam Hartman. Jaden Greathouse has dreamed of this since he was young. Well, Jaden Greathouse is still young. He's 18 years old, and when he's next to Sam Hartman, who is 24, there's kind of quite the contrast in ages there. So the good news from Dublin tonight, 42-0 win, or 42-3. Couldn't quite get the shutout, gave up the field goal right at the end. But the Irish take this convincing victory, and they will head home now. And next week they will truly be home again, and will play Tennessee State back at good old Notre Dame Stadium after a great trip here on the Emerald Island. For Fighting Irish Preview, I'm Phil Haug. Good night from Dublin, and that's a wrap.